everyone, you're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. The death of former Tata Sons chairman Cyrus Mistry has put the focus on car safety once again. On Sunday, Mistry and his friend Jahangir Pandole were killed when their car hit a road divider in the Palghar district of Maharashtra while they were driving down from Ahmedabad. Mistry and Pandole were at the back seat of the car, while the other occupants, Anahita Pandole, was at the wheel and her husband, Darius Pandole, was on the passenger seat. They suffered injuries and are receiving treatment. In the wake of this tragedy, Union Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari has announced that rear seat occupants not wearing a seat belt will now be penalized. A notification in this regard will be released in the next 3 days. Nitin Gadkari has also said that his ministry will mandate an alarm for rear seat belts, similar to the ones for the driver's seat. A World Health Organization report from June this year stated that seat belts can reduce death and serious injuries to passengers in the rear seat of a car by 25%. However, as per the Central Motor Vehicle rules, seat belts for passengers in the rear seats of a moving vehicle are compulsory. But across India, Transport Authority officials seldom fine or punish offenders, creating a culture of not wearing rear seat belts at all. So is this a wake-up call to effectively enforce traffic rules across the country and avoid such tragedies? Joining me first on the show is our big newsmaker, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari. Mr. Gadkari, really appreciate your time, sir. The entire country is shocked to see how Cyrus Mistry died in a road accident. What, according to you, caused this accident? Was it overspeeding, overtaking, a human error, or something else?
It will be too early to make any comments on the reason of the accident, but this accident is unfortunate. Cyrus Mistry was a close friend of mine. At the time when I got appointed to construct Mumbai-Pune Express Highway, he was working on 2 packages from Shapurji and Palamji. As a chairman of the Tata Sons, also he contributed for the development of our country. It's very unfortunate and sad. We will find out the reason, what exactly the reason for that accident, and we will rectify the things. But presently we don't have any reports, but already we have ordered to concerning competent authority to find out what is the exact reason for this. But one thing is very important. The road safety is the highest agenda for the country. And this incident is teaching us a new lesson, that every year in India we have 5 lakhs accidents and 3,50,000 people, either they have a leg fracture, hand fracture, lot of fractures they have. And we have death of 1,50,000 people every year, either COVID or war or anywhere in any type of thing. The maximum deaths in our country are because of road accidents. We are highest in the world, and this is the time that we have already taken a challenge that before end of 24, we will reduce 50% accidents and 50% deaths on the road. It's really a great challenge. It is a difficult job, but it is not impossible. With the cooperation of all stakeholders, particularly the automobile engineering, road engineering, emergency services for health, and at the same time implementation of the law, enforcement, and cooperation from educational institutions, universities, colleges, NGOs, societies, we can campaign for it, for road safety. Now the Amitabh Bachchan and Akshay Kumarji are our brand ambassador. Lot of cricketers, lot of celebrities, they are contributing for helping for the department for road safety and educating for the people. So I feel that we need cooperation from media, from all stakeholders, and 100% with the cooperation of all the stakeholders, 100% before 24, we will end of 24, we will try to reduce the 50% deaths and 50% accidents in the country.
So one theory is that because the road suddenly became narrow because of the bridge and that the driver failed to keep control on the vehicle and the accident occurred.
I see the film, but it is too early to make any comments on it. We are making the road safety audit of that road, and after giving the expert opinion, that it will be appropriate to make any comments on it.
Okay, Mr. Gadkari, do you think that had the passengers sitting in the rear seat where Mr. Mistry was, and they had worn their respective seat belts, they could have very well survived? And why, according to you, are people so reluctant in wearing seat belts when they are particularly sitting in rear seat?
Actually, already there is a law. Even for the people who are sitting on the back seat, even that is mandatory for them to take the seat belt. In the front side, a driver seat and a driver side seat, if they are not taking seat belt, then there is some horn, some sound is there. Now we are issuing the law by which manufacturer will take that even the back seat people also, they are not taking the belt, then also there will be a sound for creating awareness in the mind of the people. And if we find people that they are not taking belt, then there will be fine of 1,000 rupees, either it is back seat or front seat. So I feel that taking fine from the people is not our intention. We want to create awareness between the mind of the people, and we have to change the mind of the people that they should respect law and there should be a fear for the law. That is exactly the country needs all these things today, because we have to save the life of the people. And in the road accident, at least out of 1,50,000 deaths, there are age group of 18 to 34. The 60% deaths are belong to young people. It's very unfortunate. I will appeal to the people of our country. We are highest in the world in the road accident. With your cooperation, we can save the life of the people. Please help us. Please cooperate us, and please create awareness in the mind of the people that we will obey the rules of the road, and we will take it seriously and sensitively, and we will save the life, not our life, but we will save the life of the people. That is exactly, we need cooperation from the people by and large.
Appeal from you certainly will go a long way, sir. We have also seen industrialist Anand Mahindra tweet to say that citizens must take a resolve to always wear seat belt even when they are sitting on the back seat of a car. He said that I urge all of you to take that pledge. We certainly owe it to our families. Don't you think more influencers, more people who are in position of authority should speak out about this danger of traveling without wearing seat belts in rear seats?
It's one thing which I always appreciate. The people from industry, the people from social field, people from different film industry, people from celebrities, sports player. Now everyone is contributing for this cause. And this cooperation from the people by and large, 100% is going to create positivity and awareness in the mind of the people. And I'm hopeful that 100% we will save the life of the people.
And sir, you have said that Ahmedabad-Mumbai highway is dangerous with high traffic, PCU of 1.2 lakh, and you intend to bring it down to 20,000 passenger car unit. What other steps are you planning to take to make this commercially important road also a safer stretch?
We have already we are going to complete it before end of December. Delhi to Mumbai new express highway. It's a 12-lane express highway, and by which we will reduce the traffic on Ahmedabad-Mumbai, and it is really very important for the country, and we want to make it as early as possible, and this is going to reduce the traffic on this road. Presently the traffic density on this road is very high. This is the true fact.
You have spoken, and this is my last question to you, sir, in the context of making airbags compulsory in cars. There are statements of yours which have been read as well. Will you talk to automakers on that?
Already I have a discussion with the automakers. Now, whatever the car they are export from India, they are making 6 airbags. So now we are in the process, and I am confident positively that the automobile manufacturer will cooperate us. The cost of one airbag is 1,000 rupees. For 6 airbags, it is 6,000 rupees. But the cost is not important. We have to save the life of the people. That is very important. And for that reason, I am confident that our automobile industry will cooperate us.
Nitin Gadkari, really appreciate your time, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your views. and of course giving us that big news point that there will be a fine of 1,000 rupees if those sitting on the rear seat do not wear the seat belt, because that's for your own safety. We are shifting focus to our debate of the day. Faith-based targeted killing in the past few months have shown that there is a virus of radicalism that is spreading across the nation.
मैं इन सबको एक योजनाबद्ध एफर्ट के रूप में देखता। ये एफर्ट मुसलमान युवक युवतियों के इंडोक्ट्रिनेशन से शुरू, उनको ये बताने से शुरू होती है कि जो भी मुसलमान नहीं है वो काफिर है, और काफिर को मारना पुण्य है।
Charge sheet in connection with the murder of Bajrang Dal activist Harsha in Shivamoga in February. Several shocking statements have come to light. Based on the statements of witnesses, recoveries of weapons and other forensic evidence, analysis of CCTV footages and call detail records, the NIA has claimed in its 750-page charge sheet that the 8 prime accused formed themselves into a terrorist gang and conspired to murder Harsha. The agency claims it was a meticulously planned hate crime aimed to send a message and spread fear among the Hindu community. And the Bajrang Dal activist was picked due to cow protection campaign. The charge sheet actually says the assailants felt that the Muslim community is being oppressed in the wake of the debate over hijabs, the Citizenship Amendment Act, and the NC, the National Register of Citizens, which is the NRC. Harsha is not the first or the last victim of this virus of radicalism. Just look at the month of June, where the Nupur Sharma controversy was at its height. Kanhaiya Lal in Udaipur and Umesh Kole in Amravati. Both were murdered for supporting her. In those cases as well, there was extensive planning and wrecking of the targets before they were executed, with the simple motivation of punishing those who stand against a particular faith. Even Hindu processions from Ram Navami and Hanuman Jayanti were under siege in many parts of the country, where the investigation revealed how certain groups were armed and ready for a fight. But this virus does not exist or thrive on one side. We have seen a string of lynchings by cow vigilantes in the past, where Pehlu Khan, Rakhbar Khan, Alimuddin Ansari and Muhammad Akhlaq and many others were targeted and murdered purely over the suspicion of cattle smuggling and slaughter. What we are seeing is a highly polarized situation that is spreading across the nation, fueled by politics and propaganda that is rapidly mobilized from any part of the world via social media and other online platforms, affecting the youngest of our nation, deepening the communal fault lines and hurting the fragile peace. The question remains, how do we tackle this virus that hurts all Indians, no matter who they worship? Joining me now, S. Prakash, Karnataka BJP spokesperson, Nagaraju Yadav, Karnataka Congress spokesperson, Ashwani Dubey, advocate of Supreme Court, Yashwardhan Azad, former IPS officer, and advocate at Sham Hashmi is a political analyst. Mr. Hashmi, the NIA charge sheet says the accused persons, in order to create disharmony and feeling of enmity and hatred between the local Muslims and Hindus, shouted, "Kafir Bajrang Dal wale ko maro." This is what deep radicalization and indoctrination looks like. What efforts are being made from within the community to counter it?
Actually, it's our collective responsibility to maintain the communal harmony, peace, and law and order in the society. But as we are witnessing, and you also know that since last 10 to 14 years, BJP officials trying very hard to make India a communal hatred country. We have seen so many lynchings, so many murders because of hate crimes, but government has not taken any step. We have seen that Akhlaq has been brutally murdered, Pehlu Khan has been brutally murdered, and we have also seen the case of Bilkis Bano, and recently those accused who were involved in the brutality against Bilkis Bano, they have been garlanded and have been released from prison. But still government of India is not taking any action, and
so you are blaming it on the government.
With utmost
You are
sincerity
putting the
and
blame on
honesty,
the
I
government.
must say that NIA
Mr.
official-
Hashmi, Mr. Hashmi, yes, please complete your point.
Yes.
Complete your point.
And NIA officials are just behaving like a BJP dedicated workers. They
Okay,
are
why
not
are you
working
saying
like
so?
an independent agency.
Okay, yes,
That's
Prakash.
why we all are facing
So
these
here
kinds
is the
of
point
problems.
being made by an analyst who is also an advocate that NIA officials are BJP workers.
He calls himself as an analyst and he is no terror apologist, defending all those brutal killings by the radicalized youths who are engaged in targeted killing of Hindu youths to terrorize them. How can he support them? Any murder committed by any community should be hired is deplorable.
I'm
We
extremely
should
sorry,
not take
I'm
a
not
side on
supporting
it.
any kind
But
of violence.
you are supporting, you did support. You did not deplore the killing of Harsha
No,
or
sorry,
Praveen
don't
Nittor
try
or
to put your
Kannayala.
words in my mouth.
You are taking
I'm
some
condemning
7 to 8
all
years
kinds
back,
of
what
violence.
happened, you are trying to
I'm not supporting
drag
Hindu,
it
I'm
here.
not supporting
Are not
Muslim. Being a
ashamed?
lawyer, it's my responsibility.
What kind of a
to
liar
call
you
black
are?
a black
What
and
kind
white
of
a
a liar
white.
who is supporting a murderers?
Liar, please pronounce it properly.
You are not in
and
the
I'm
court
not,
of
I'm
law. You
not
are here on the
giving
national
side to
channel
Hindu, and I'm
supporting
not
those
giving side to
killers.
Muslims. And
I am not
you should
supporting
make
any
your
killings.
point
I am
within
saying
within the proper framework.
What proper
What are you
framing
saying?
of a, what are you saying? They are murdered, and NIA says why they have been targeting the Hindu youth. Instead of deploring it, you are supporting them. Not a word
On
of
what grounds?
condemnation
On
from
what
you.
grounds?
What
This
kind of a
charge
liar
sheet
you are?
has
You are
been
not in the
prepared by
courtroom.
some
You are on a national
RSS
channel
and
debating
Bajrang
the issue.
workers. It cannot be drafted by an honest NIA official.
Okay,
This charge sheet
Ashwini
cannot be
Dubey,
drafted
so
by
this
an
charge
NIA
sheet,
honest official.
which is
How
of
do you know
750 pages, 750 pages charge sheet, which talks about how accused persons try to create disharmony and feeling of enmity and hatred between local Muslims and Hindus at the time of hacking Harsha to death is according to Ehtisham, has been prepared by BJP workers and not NIA.
Thank you very much, Maria, for having me here. Maria, with due respect to you and your other panelists, the NIA is the prime investigating agency of this country, which is well versed not technically but legally as well. The UAPA Act and the NIA Act has given the ample powers to NIA to investigate it. I completely deny and do not agree with the viewpoint of my lawyer friend that the NIA is acting at the behest of the BJP. See, Maria, we live in a country where rule of law prevails. The charge sheet says that the accused had developed hatred towards the Hindu community. This must be accepted. The investigation revealed that the accused persons developed hatred towards a community people during CAA NRC issue, hijab controversy, and in middle during the hijab controversy, he was killed.
And that exactly is Hashmi saying.
And that
He is also displaying the same kind of hatred and linking it to Pehlu Khan and other incidents.
That is what I'm saying, that the country is a secular country where the people from all caste, creed, and religion lives here. The harmony is the ultimate motive of the constitution, which is the holy book. When Harsha was murdered right in the middle of Karnataka Hezabro, when Pehlu Khan was murdered, it is to be investigated. No one can decline or overrule the theory of the investigators. It is either me or you, Maria, or my lawyer friend will not.
On what basis are you saying that this is a charge sheet which has been prepared by BJP?
Yes, because NIA chosen not to take the investigation of Rakbar, Pehlu and Akhlaq and the small girl which has been,
it's voices such as you who refuse to accept. Who refuse to accept that there is radicalization, that there is deep-rooted problem in the community, who will not talk about reforms. Instead, they will give this theory that everything that is happening is linked to Pehlu Khan, Rakbar Khan, Alimuddin Khan and Muhammad Ikhlaq. How do you forget Kanhaiya Lal? How do you forget Kanhaiya Lal and also Umesh Kole? How do you forget that? What happened in Udaipur? What happened in Amravati?
You can't make personal allegations.
How are you forgetting that?
You can't make personal allegations.
No, this is a point being made by
Harsha
Ashwini
case
Dubey.
was serious and it's being investigated by NIA. Then why NIA is not investigating these cases which I have mentioned? NIA is shying away from an investigation or what? Why NIA officials are behaving like a BJP workers?
Okay, Yashwardhan Azad, why is NIA not investigating previous cases?
I think any debate.
This case is so special. This case is so important for NIA.
Okay.
What is the reason behind it?
Okay, Yashwardhan Azad is a former IPS officer. You have to be patient enough to listen to him. Yes. Yashwardhan Azad now. Yes.
Why state police is not investigating this case?
Okay.
Any debate on
why investigation has been
resolving
transferred from state police
can
to
you
NIA?
please speak quiet, Mr. Hashmi? Can the others speak also? I have listened to you patiently. I think any debate on resolving communal differences in this country is drowned in uproar and shrill voices by the communal brigands from both sides. And it's quite clear that radicalization is a very, very serious issue in this country. On the other hand, also, the kind of communal propaganda which is being unleashed from the right and also from the other side is a source of worry. It is quite clear, and let me tell you that NIA is helmed by one of the most competent DGs, Dinkar Gupta, who was DG earlier and who was also in the Intelligence Bureau. So I have no problems with the charge sheet which has been filed with Harsha. On the other hand, Maria, I totally agree that incidents like Pehlu Khan and also indicate a very, very serious worry. And this issue cannot be resolved by only blaming the government or on blaming the so-called the communal wings on the other side. This can be resolved only by a proper talks and resolving the issue through a kind of the leaders from both sides who try and assuage their own people that this is not the way to go ahead. The question is that if you have this kind of a, fratricide, which is coming from both sides, one thing is that there has to be a very tough and law and order attitude from the police, which should be even-handed on both sides. Unfortunately, what is happening today is that various states have, displayed a kind of proclivity of moving towards the side of ideology which they proclaim. And that is why I say that if you have autonomy of institutions, of the law enforcement agencies, then things are going to be different. Because let the politicians do what they feel like, but the law enforcement agencies have to be absolutely neutral and firm and have to be autonomous from the influence of the political executive.
But the point that you're making, Yashwardhan Azad, that it should be free from the influence of the political executive. In recent times, particularly in investigations of this nature, be it Harsha or, even Amravati incident and Udaipur is being investigated by the NIA, are you also of the opinion that similarly those incidents of lynching should be investigated by NIA?
I agree. I agree with that. The lynching incidents should not be left with the state. If you're having NIA to investigate incidents like Harsha, then the other incidents should also be, conflated equally.
Okay.
And they must be done by central agencies.
Okay. Nagaraju Yadav, you heard from Yashwardhan Azad. The point being made here is of the larger incidents in other states. But let me go into the specifics of this particular charge sheet. And it says that the assailants targeted Harsha as a plan to terrorize Hindu community. The fact is, when that incident happened, politicians also added fuel to fire. We have seen how in Karnataka in recent times, political parties choose to really make statements which polarize the society, but when it comes to standing up for the rights of those two minors who was allegedly abused, assaulted for 3 years and 2 years by a mutt, pontiff, none of you took a stand. So my question then is, what will you say to this charge sheet?
See, the charge sheet, whatever is done, it is done by NIA. It is not done by any political party as such. Maybe the people are accusing about it because the constitutional authorities have been misused for political needs in the country, which is a very serious matter today. One, now, basically coming to the issue of Karnataka and hate speeches and hate killing is the main concern. It's not only Karnataka, the whole country. Today, Karnataka, as you know very well, Karnataka is a very progressive state. Always stood number one for innovation and for secularism and pluralism. But today, whenever the BJP is in power, why this kind of criminal activities come to the forefront? Why the government which is in place is not controlling the antisocial elements activities in the state of Karnataka, which is leading to so many confusion in Karnataka, which is not acceptable to anybody.
So you are making a political point here. You are making a political point here, Mr. Prakash. This is almost appearing that be it hijab, halal, loudspeaker, CA, NRC, all this is being prepared by the Karnataka BJP in the run-up to 2023 elections. Issues.
Let me ask. No, I would like to clarify to Mr. Nagaraj, my good friend, the 22 murders took place during Siddaramaya regime. 22 Hindu youths were murdered and none of them have been properly probed. That apart, none of the agitations you raised are sponsored by BJP, are steered by the BJP. If some Hindu organization raised those issues, BJP cannot be faulted for it.
It is not acceptable. Whether Hindu, Muslim,
sir, over, sir. Mr. Nagaraj Yadav, I have moved over from that.
Yes.
None of the issues you raised cannot be faulted to BJP. It is not our agenda. Hijab was started by the Campus Front of India, offshoot of PFI. It was not started by BJP. Let it be very clear. We are ruling the state. We have a responsibility to govern the state peacefully and maintain the communal harmony. And the government is doing that. The fringe element, radical elements are out to create communal disharmony and targeted killings are engineered.
Only because you have an agenda of targeting minorities.
Sir, you are targeting a majority. Then shall I accuse that? Is that the way we go forward?
We should not. Take everybody together. Intolerance is not acceptable to India. Please don't insult the Constitution of India.
Sir, Siddaramaya is number one divider of the society. Your leader, Mr. Siddaramaya, is dividing the society with his irresponsible statement. Kindly restrain him.
No, I will not
restrain Siddaramaya.
For Hindu or Muslim, killing is killing. NIA has to be left free to do that kind of work. Whether it's CBI, whether it's CD, whether it's NIA, should not be used for political needs.
Then which investigating agency do you have faith in? If you feel that all investigating agencies, in fact NIA, which investigates cases of terror, is now being politicized the manner in which it has been, Yashwardhan Azad, then the politicians seem to be dismissing every agency. CBI, ED is being misused for fixing opposition, and now NIA being misused for fixing somebody.
I told you, Maria, that any discussion of this kind will be definitely drowned in an uproar with competing claims from both sides abusing each other, and never a solution will be found. You know, in such cases, I always feel that whenever there is a kind of a communal conflagration, this should be immediately be investigated by an agency like the NIA. And I'm absolutely right, whether it's Pehlu Khan, whether it's Harsha, or whether it's anything, just put one agency on the job and you'll see the result. And secondly, as I said earlier, unless you have a tough law and order enforcement agencies, this will never be resolved, because you have seen that in various states, either is appeasement or either is promoting the rights. So it's a question of how do you resolve these. This will continue. This kind of debates And this kind of arguments will carry on unless we find some solution.
Yes.
One solution is that both the parties come together, which is not expected. And so the second thing is that we hope that a few good men in the security agency will stand up and do their job and be very tough on any kind of communal disturbance.
No, but the larger question is are there some men like these or leaders like these who will talk about not involve, raising a doubt over the functioning of investigating agencies, particularly NIA, because that has to deal with cases of terror. And that is a very, very sensitive matter, Mr. Nagaraju.
Yeah, very, very seriously.
Absolutely.
Whatever the police officer said, that I accept it now very clearly. I'm telling you, madam, the religious kind of politics should be kept away. Polarization of politics should be kept away. Development should come to the forefront of politics, and development should be an agenda. This political party, which is in power in the country and the state, religious polarization has been taken as the first priority, which is the reason of all these things. Intolerance in the country, all over the places, is not acceptable. Whether it's a Muslim killing or whether it's Hindu killing or vandalizing the churches, which is not acceptable to any Indian today.
Mr. Prakash.
We are law-abiding citizens today. Why are we not accepting this? We are born with
Mr.
the peace,
Prakash.
and we are the example.
See, if we start doubting the investigating agency, we don't want NIA, we don't want CBI. Can the FBI investigate these cases? We should have faith in our investigating agencies, and whatever the report is submitted is not the final. It has to be. It will go to the court, and they have to prove in the court of law that whatever the investigation they have carried out has some credibility, evidence is available. Only then it can become final. And mere presenting the FIR to the court does not mean that the case has ended.
Why the democracy? Why you are saying that we are supposed to uphold the law of the land?
Investigating
Why
agencies,
are not
why
condemning
doubt them? The politicians are the last people to dictate and declare which agency is to be investigated of any cases. What Congress did during the 70 years of their rule, everybody has seen it. Let us
Okay, Advocate Ehtesham Hashmi. Advocate Ehtesham Hashmi, what is problematic again here is the slogans that we have seen, which are visibly provocative and instigating. Kafir Bajrang Dal walon ko maro ya sartan se juda. My question again is that these open call of, revenge that's coming from the community, there have to be voices of sanity within the community that not only condemn these, but also make young boys understand the ramifications, that this is against the rule of the land, that there is law of the land which has to be followed. They cannot be provoking people. So there is something going wrong within the community. While I talk about the Muslims, even among the Hindus, when there has been incidents of lynching, then there has to be voices. Who are these voices? And why aren't these voices taking center stage?
See, these fringe elements should be prosecuted, should be hanged by neck till death. And I am requesting Yashowardhan sir, he is former IPS officer with folded hands. I am just posing a simple query to Maria, to you, and to Yashowardhan sir, and to all the honorable panelists over this debate.
Yes. Go ahead.
Few days back, one Yashwant Sahdev has filed one affidavit alleging that RSS goons are training young boys to execute bomb blast, and he has filed a detailed affidavit before court. And if you'll see the page 3 of that affidavit, I have the copy with me right now. RSS is responsible for conducting blast in India just to give undue advantage to BJP. And I would just like to read four lines at page 3, that these 2% informed the applicant that the training camp in bomb making was going to be organized shortly by RSS. Thereafter, there was a plan to cause bomb blast throughout the country.
Okay, Yashwardhan Azad, quick response from you, and then I'll give the final words. I'll give the final words to Ashwini. Please go ahead. Respond to this, and Ashwini will also respond to this.
Now I'm inviting all the BJP panelists. Now I am inviting
No,
all
no.
the RSS
How is
panelists
Yashwardhan
to
Azad
give
a
me an
BJP
answer
panelist?
to
He'll
this
respond to
effect
that.
about this affidavit.
Yashwardhan Azad.
That why NIA is not taking any action against this
Okay.
affidavit.
Yeah,
Why
Yashwardhan
NIA is
Azad,
not
why is
taking any
NIA not
action
taking
against
action
RSS
against
officials?
that?
No. The question is very simple. I mean, the
I
intelligence
have the evidence
agency-
with me. Why NIA is silent on this affidavit?
No. The question is
Huh.
that anybody can file an affidavit. That's fine. But what is the basis of that information? The information has to have some credibility. And
Sir,
if
that's
there
a
is
matter of investigation. You are a police officer. That it's a matter of investigation. It's a matter of our nation. It's a serious
David,
threat
it
to
has been
all
filed
Indians like
where?
us.
It has been filed where? It has been filed to whom? It has
I'm
gone
showing
to
you,
which
sir.
police station?
Sir. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This
To me,
affidavit has been filed in the extrajudicial district and session judge Nanded. Case number session case number 011114 of 2007.
Okay.
State of Maharashtra versus
Ashwini, I
Rahul
just have
Manohar
enough
Pandey and
time
others.
for you to
If
respond
you want
to
a copy of this
to
affidavit, I can send it across.
Mr. Hashmi.
please send it across.
Maria, this is the
Huh.
way now the country is running. What will happen after 20 years? We have to think. The way we are dividing on the line of the religion,
These
caste.
RSS goons are trying to destroy our nation,
that-
and we are keeping silent on this issue.
That is what
Don't we have a
Maria.
courage to call a spade? Don't we have a courage to call them terrorists and goons? Evidence is before you.
Okay, Mr. Hashmi, you'll have to listen to others as well. There are other panelists on the show.
It's a matter of
Maria,
it's a matter of shame for me. It's
Yes.
a matter of shame for all of us.
Yes.
Maria, we are lawyers and we should behave and talk in a constitutional manner that I can say that we should not behave like a street goons. The thing is, Maria, that the constitution is supreme. Everyone whosoever living in this country is a citizen of this India country, and law should protect everyone. The law which is protecting and investigating this Harsha murder case must investigate the Pehlu Khan also. But the question here is how the fundamentalists are brainwashing the youth of this country. What will happen after 20 years? Have you understood? That we should understand the people from all
Don't try to
castes,
fool us by using this beautiful language. You don't have a courage.
Let my friend speak, Maria, first, then I will speak.
No,
I
no,
cannot
he will not
that-
stop. I have given you the final words. I have just 30 seconds on the show. Please finish your point. Yes.
And that is what, Maria, the time has come. Whosoever try to disrupt the harmony of this country must be dealt strictly in accordance with the law. Law must take its course, and I do agree with Mr. Azad that the investigating agency must be independent and free from all kind of influence of the political parties. Then only the transparent investigation can come out and the courts can take action against the culprit.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Prakash, Nagaraju Yadav, Ashwini Dubey, Yashwardhan Azad, and Advocate Ehtisham Hashmi. We are slipping into a short break. After that, we'll shift focus on the sinking city of India, which was earlier the IT city and the city of lakes. We are talking about Bengaluru.
accident.